Number 9, we have this refrigerator that's wired up. So we have the lights dimming when a heavy appliance comes on. We want to give the voltage. Given that the voltage of the source is 120 volts and the wire resistance is 0.8 ohms, the bulb is nominally 75 watts. What power will the bulb dissipate if a total of 15 amps passes through the wire when the motor comes on? Ignore negligible change in bulb resistance. What is the power consumed by the motor? So this problem wound up being a little more problematic than I realized. So we have two pathways. One of them has the bulb in it, and the other one has another resistor. There's another resistor in that circuit. And then we're going down to the motor down here. So here's how I figure this really works. When the motor comes on, we have 15 amps passing up this way. That means we also have 15 amps passing through the motor part. So 30 amps total coming through the circuit, through the whole mechanism. Because these two pathways with the 0.8 ohm resistors are in parallel, then 1 over Rp equals 1 over 0.8 ohms plus 1 over 0.8 ohms gives me Rp equals 0.4 ohms. All that to say, I think on the homework, all I'm having you do is tell me, under normal operation, the power of this light bulb, which we were told is 75 watts, that power bulb, power equals V squared over R. That means R equals V squared over power equals 120 volts squared over 75 watts. That's a resistance of that bulb of 192 ohms. I think that's all I'm asking you to do on the homework, is to come up with the resistance of that bulb. To take it through the rest of the way, so what we want to figure out is there's 30 amps that's being driven through 0.4 ohms of resistance. So that is a voltage use of 12 volts. That means that we have 120 volts coming out of the wall minus 12 volts. That leaves us with 108 volts when this thing is in operation. So the power equals V squared over R equals 108 volts squared divided by the 192 ohm bulb. That gives us 60.8 watts. So a 75 watt bulb is only consuming 60.8 watts, so it's getting dimmer. For the end, what is the power consumed by the motor? So the power consumed by the motor is the 30 amps times 120 volts. That's the power that's supplied, 30 amps at 120 volts, minus the 60.8 watts that is being consumed by our bulb then, minus the 30 amps times 0.4 ohms, 30 amps squared, IR squared, gives us 3,179 watts is the power that's being consumed by the motor. That's more complex than I meant it to be. Just do the bulb.